It all started in 1975 with the E21 replacing the 2002, followed by the E30, E36, E46, E90 and then the F30. Now, for those who do not know what I'm talking about, they are the Avengers of the 3 Series lineup that made it the best-selling premium sports sedan with over 15 million units sold worldwide. Now, with this, the 7th generation, the G20, is it still the same superhero that many aspire to be? This car review episode is powered by the all-new Petronas Premix 95 with ProDrive. The BMW 3 Series has somehow become the default benchmark in its segment, raising bars along the way for the past 4.5 decades, and of course we will still expect it to do the same. This here is the fully imported BMW 330i M Sport, the only variant offered by BMW Malaysia. For now, there's no denying that it looks gorgeous with a completely new look and larger than ever before, but yet still unmistakably a 3 Series. The headlights are now more angular with a unique kink in the middle, which is said to pay tribute to the E46. Unlike the global launch unit, this doesn't come with the BMW laser light because it is very expensive. So these are full LED headlights. You get these underscore looking light strips instead of a full DRL design. Now, I believe you agree with me that this grille looks very proportionate here. It comes as a single piece now. It has active grille shutter that closes for better aerodynamics and opens up when the engine needs cooling. Looks good, doesn't it? The M Sport bumper gives the car a bit more tougher and more aggressive look. The rims are a modest 18-inch, no complaint at all, because the thicker tyre should give me a better ride. But the wheel design though, I thought it could be a bit more daring to complement the car a bit more. It has got a well-proportioned side profile with a short front and rear overhang. Now, check this out. I like how they did the Hofmeister kink differently here. This is my favourite part. Just make sure you don't swing it into a wall or shove it to your kid's face. The L-shaped taillights, I think I mentioned before that it looked a bit unfinished on the X4, but here it fits in perfectly. I like how the boot lid rises up towards the tip over here to give the car a bit more downforce, I suppose. Double tailpipes are real, I've checked. These are not though. The rear bumper looks a bit too chunky. It sort of weighs down the car visually like a heavy diaper. Before I move into the interior, let me just show you this. This all-new 3 Series allows you to lock and unlock the car using a smartphone with a digital key inside. You can even start the car by placing your phone into the wireless charging compartment because it uses NFC to detect the digital key. Now, it may sound very high-tech and all that, but it only works with a certain Samsung smartphone. Not a Samsung user? Fret not, because you can have this. A hotel room key like touch and go thing. Lock, unlock, start the car, and just keep it in your wallet. Very clever this. Now I know what you're thinking, why bother reaching out to your phone and the card, because you can go keyless entry by having your key somewhere in your pocket and just reach out to the handle. Imagine this, you are going to a black tie event wearing a tight body-hugging satin dress, holding nothing but a clutch with your smartphone in it, with no space for your car key. So, digital key. Especially useful for me, well, not that I cross-dress or what, but I always forget my car key but never my smartphone. Pretty useful. In here is a huge step up as compared to the F30. Properly premium now. Things are done a bit differently, more angular design cues from the 8 Series, and the materials used, they look and feel great. Soft touch materials almost everywhere, and I can tell you, no more sticky dials or buttons, that's for sure. And that itself is a huge step up. Sitting here, you feel that this is a very driver-focused cabin with the dashboard slanting to the driver. The M Sport steering wheel feels good. This is one thick and meaty steering wheel. You know how I like it, thick and meaty? But to be very honest, it's a tad too meaty for our cute Asian hands. You get sore palms after a long drive, but together with the pedal shifters, it feels good. Now, finally, a full digital meter cluster for a 3 Series. It looks really good here. I don't mind the rev counter going the opposite direction. You get the map nicely placed right in the center, and also you can get to choose what you want to see on the right hand side dial as well. It changes color according to your driving mode. There is the Eco Pro, Comfort and Sport. The center control display now runs on the BMW Live Cockpit Professional 7.0 with a very nice interface on this really crisp screen. I especially like how you can customize the home screen by just holding on to it and then just change the widget into news. And done. Of course, you can control it via touchscreen, via this iDrive controller or the buttons on the steering wheel, voice command, and there is no air gesture. Well, personally, I think you're not losing out a lot on that because you get a personal assistant voice command, just like the one in the Proton X70. Let's try that out. Hey BMW.
Hello, what can I help you with?
I'm hungry. It will then show you a list of restaurants nearby.
Which one of the destinations shall I select?
Let's try that again. Hey BMW, do I need an umbrella today?
Current
Yeah,
weather
voila,
at
it
desired
works.
location.
Now, what's even more impressive is you can change the activation word. So instead of using the default Hey BMW, you can change it to Jarvis, what's my remaining range?
The remaining range is 147 kilometers.
Yeah, and all of a sudden you are Iron Man. Down here, the climate control and vents look really good. Very easy to use, and check out these dials. Very nicely done. Down here, 2 cup holders with the wireless charging compartment where you put the digital key to start the car as well. This area here is a bit unfamiliar, especially the gear knob. To be honest, I prefer the one previously. This one here though, well, the positioning of the P button is a bit odd, firstly. It's very unnatural how you do it. It's not very ergonomic. The material at the back here feels rough and cheap. The panel around it, well, BMW has gone for a more flat lay look. Well, minimalistic approach with all the things all laid out, driving modes and all that, but I don't know, let me know what you think. Down here, decent size compartment. I like how the door panel is designed, it looks great. It has got this ambient lighting strip as well, and when you open the door, it pulsates in red. It works as a visual safety feature, I suppose. But one thing though, the seats, yeah, it can be comfortable, but if you are any wider than me in terms of size, it may get a bit uncomfortable because these side supports are a bit too tight and narrow. So it's good to hold you down, but for people who is wider than me, yeah, be warned. The wheelbase of the car has grown by 41 mm, so you certainly get a lot more space back here. As you can see, the headroom also is quite generous. But it feels a bit dark in here though because there's no sunroof or panoramic sunroof. You get air vents right in the middle with climate control settings, armrests with cup holders. Now I have to say it again, the door panel looks really good and it's got a very generous compartment here as well. And the seats actually feels comfortable too. For a car this size, I actually think the boot space is impressive. Well, mainly because it runs on run flats, so you don't need extra space for your spare tyre. I like this extra compartment on both left and right with nettings. You get a grocery hook on the left here, and of course, should you need more space, you can always release the seats, and voila! Okay, now before I go out for a drive, let me just show you this G20's party trick. It's called the reversing assistant. It's able to reverse for you by retracing your last 50 meters from where you came from. Now, I've created a quick 50 meters course to go through these cones and then reverse back by using this special feature. So let's begin. Now let's imagine you are actually living in a bat cave and these cones are the walls. And you have to maneuver this, you have to do this every day, going home by driving in such a narrow lane. And you would want to have somebody to reverse it for you, and that would be the reversing assistant. Okay, I've arrived at my bat cave. Now, what you need to do is just put it into reverse, select reversing assistant, and let it do its thing. Okay, it will do the steering, the maneuvering, but you still have to control the brakes. So what it does is, the car sort of remembers your steering input for the past 50 meters and then just redo what you just did. And it looks like it's doing very well. This one is the tight one. Yeah, so the trick is by controlling the speed really well and still, you kind of still have to look where you're going or else it might not really work. So the last 8 meters, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm back at where we started. I know you'll be wondering, why do I need such a feature, because I'm a good driver already. But like I said, if you live in a bat cave and you need to reverse out in the dark every day, this will be very useful. Or if you come to a Mexican standoff with somebody in a narrow lorong in KL and you want to show the guy in front of you, you are a bigger person. Let it reverse for you and give him that death stare. Powering this 330i M Sport is a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine making 258 horsepower and 400 Nm of torque. It gets you from 0 to 100 in 5.8 seconds with a limited top speed of 250 km per hour. All this power is transferred to the rear wheels via the excellent 8-speed ZF gearbox. We should be expecting more variants, I suppose by end of this year, I hope. So now, how does it drive? Now I understand why you BMW drivers drive like a dickhead. Really, it's because you can. Especially those with BMWs of such caliber as this. I have to admit, after a week, I'm becoming one of them. A male tool started growing from my forehead. Because I can. I can go fast and agile through the traffic, and I get that little more impatient with other road users because I think they are incompetent to me. I have a very capable car. If you can't cope, you need to know your place. Just get back to your loser lane. The way this car reacts to your input is impressive. Say for example, I need to overtake the car in front of me. I check my mirrors, make sure I'm clear, and I go for the kill. And the power just keeps surging on. The power delivery of this thing, as and when you want it, it's there to deliver. And just like that, the car in front of you is gone. A lot has been done to the car. With a 25% stiffer structure, wider tracks, the front is now 43mm wider while the rear track has been increased by 21mm. It is now a lot more agile with a great level of composure. Thanks to a new set of dampers as well. So BMW developed what they call lift-related passive dampers, which is a first for BMW, and they picked it over the adaptive dampers for the 330i M Sport. So now what does my butt say? It says it is firm, but not the trashy kind. It is the premium kind of firm. And my butt never lies. All this thing comes together, it feels a lot more refined and much more composed as compared to before. So to answer my earlier question, yes, this is still the superhero that many of his rivals aspire to be. I would go as far as saying this: if Porsche were to make a compact sports sedan one day, God forbid, this will be it. Just plonk in a flat 4 and just rebatch it. It is that good. Here comes the party pooper, the big butt. In this day and age, for a car this price at 330,000 ringgit, the fact that it doesn't come with adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, automatic emergency braking, or even surround view camera, it bothers me. I'm pretty sure it bothers many of you guys out there as well. Then again, a butt in a butt. BMW Malaysia brought this in as a fully imported CBU unit to first satisfy the needs of eager Beamer beavers. Until the day they announced the full CKD lineup, this is still the one and only variant you can find in the market. But come to think of it, I suppose it is worth it because it does come with bragging rights, if you know what I mean. So, is this car for you? Well, if you're looking for possibly the best in class when it comes to driving performance with power delivery that hits the sweet spot every time, and not forgetting the great looks as well, then yes. But if you're one of those that always go, with that money, I might as well buy the 520i, then go buy the 520i instead. If you want to find out more about the BMW 330i M Sport, do log on to AutoBuzz.my. If you like our video, do give us a thumbs up, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the logo or the subscribe button down below. Please click on the bell icon to receive the latest notification every time we upload a new video. This car review episode is powered by the all-new Petronas Premix 95 with ProDrive. Move like never before.
Hi BMW. Hello BMW.
It is without denying it. What am I talking about?
Hello BMW. BMW.
No, I wrote something else. Can you please cut